I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by a policy and analyst and country officer of the Open Society Initiative for West Africa, Mr. Jude Illo. You're welcome to the news at 10.
Thank you very much.
We understand the misgivings of parents and guardians concerning the reopening of the schools, given the contagious nature of this disease. We also understand what the government is saying about how the education calendar has been upended by this pandemic. Where do you stand? Are we ready for reopening of schools, even if it's for graduating students who have pertinent exams?
I mean, we have to accept, first of all, that, we're all tired of staying at home. We're very much eager to see that life returns back to normal. And naturally, parents, everybody's worried about the school calendar. So there's a genuine concern here and a genuine need to see how we can get the kids back to school. However, if you're going to get the kids back to school, it has to be based not just on emotion or on a need, but also on clear science and empirical evidence. We have just tested less than 140,000 Nigerians in a country of more than 150 million people. I do not think, honestly, that we have enough scientific evidence to base a judgment of this magnitude on. I do not think that having this very limited number of tests, that government gets a clear picture of what the spread of the disease is, what the dangers are, and what best to do under the circumstance. So without this coming from an informed background, I worry about this decision. Then secondly, this is a decision that involves parents, schools, and teachers. I have not seen or read anywhere that the federal government undertook to consult with parents. I've not read that this decision is bottom-up. And this is a perennial problem with decision-making in Nigeria, where we sit somewhere in Abuja and begin to make decisions that affect people who are actually in the field, who know better than we do. Without talking to school owners, without talking to teachers, without talking to parents, without talking to psychologists, I don't think the federal government should be talking about resumption of school, because this is not an informed decision in my view.
Then, therefore, what do you think needs to be done as far as measures the government need to take now that they're going forward with this measure?
So one is what's been said repeatedly. We need to really increase the number of testing we are doing so we'll have a better picture of the risk and the challenges we are dealing with across the country. Secondly, the federal government is not an island in managing schools. There are other stakeholders, and I think it is important to have a proper conversation and consultation with teachers, schools, health officials, and the rest of that group, to one, understand clearly the risk this presents, and then collectively have a joint understanding of what needs to be done to reduce those risks. And again, have a buy-in of the schools and parents, before you go to open schools. Because if you don't do that, then this becomes just your decision. You don't get the buy-in of parents, you don't get the buy-in of teachers, and at the end of the day, it becomes a disastrous policy. So consultation, in my view, is important at this time to help, one, for us to have confidence in this process.
That's as far as we can go with those questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Jude Illo. He's the policy analyst and country officer of the Open Society Initiative for West Africa.